Good day working is kind of like fishing.
All right, good evening. It is Tuesday, January 14th at 6 PM. I am going to call to order the Kaiser Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Our second order of business this evening is the election of chair and vice chair. Are there any nominations for chair and vice chair? Gwen,
I would like to nominate Matt Lawyer for chair. And also, I would also like to nominate Lisa Sajeka for vice chair.
okay, is there any other nominations? Okay. What can we put Liam in charge of?
Something.
Whatever you do.
All right, so we don't, I screwed this up every time. We don't need an actual motion, right? Okay, so there's any other nominations from anybody on the group? No? Okay, we'll close the nominations and everybody thumbs up if you're good with it. Great, glad. Actually, this is super fun.
Welcome.
I really love doing it. And, you know, Lisa's like literally the best backup you could ever have because she goes to everything.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks. We have consideration of the December 2024 minutes. Everybody should have an opportunity to take a look at those.
I move that we approve the minutes from December 2024.
Okay.
I second.
There's a motion from Lisa and a second by Gwen. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
I'll abstain since I wasn't here last month.
Okay, so simple majority. I think we're okay, right? Okay. And we have 3 absent right now, so 4 absent. Forgot one of my personalities.
Yeah.
Great. Appearance of interested citizens. So I've got Andrew and Tim, but they're going to come up in just a minute. Tammy, come on up, please. If you would, state your name and city of residence for the record. Tell us your story. You have exactly 41 and a half seconds to, no, I'm kidding. Welcome.
Tammy Kunz, Greater Northeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association, Kaiser, Oregon. So a couple of things. Jackie and I have a copy of the proposal for Carlson Skate Park from last month's presentation. We would like to know where you guys all stand on that, and if we can write a letter of support to maybe get this rolling, and what that process looks like.
What are your thoughts, Lisa?
I don't know that we're ready for standing.
No, I mean,
It's still in its infancy.
I mean, I think we heard from him. When I talked with
KP
Paul, I think it was, after the meeting, one of the things that I described, or maybe it was Jacob, that was Paul and Jacob. One of the things I described to him was, you know, you're gonna have to take, you know, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. And so it's really identifying the specific type of project and the methodology for which they're gonna go about doing that. I did ask them to follow back up with Robert, because the one thing that none of us really want to do is necessarily get too far in front of the plan that Robert has in terms of the layout of the projects, because that's something that he has to budget last year for the projects this year.
Right.
And so, you know, that was kind of it. I don't think anybody here thought that their proposal or anything they had was bad. I think everybody was fully supportive of it, but I got an email from one of them, and they said, hey, we want to apply for a parks grant. I said, well, it's not really how that works. You have to go and, because they're talking about Oregon Parks and Recreation, that actually has to be the city that applies for it in order to do that. So, Lisa.
Well, and I just wanted to say that when I gave the parks report to city council, generally there was approval. I mean,
Yeah.
they were supportive. Some councilors were more vocal about their support. Some were a little bit more like, well, how are we gonna find the money for this? But all in all, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'd love to be independently wealthy and just be able to throw money at it. I am not.
But
Great.
I do think, though, that if the neighborhood association wants to do letters of support, I would encourage that, and you could do it to the KP Kids, or whatever the organization's
Crew.
called, KP Crew. I think that might be beneficial, especially as they're soliciting maybe external participation and external opportunities to bring that forward. Because I think, and I might be wrong, but I think that if somebody came forward and said, hey, Robert, we got $500,000 to do this project, are you cool with it? My guess is he'd probably figure out a way to make it work, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
that would be one avenue to chase down.
Now, does that require 2 letters, one for you guys and one for them, or would that count as one? Or what's
No, I mean, I think that, I don't, speaking for myself, I think if I saw a letter from the neighborhood association to KP Crew saying we support this project, I think that would count for anything that potentially happens up here. Because you can write it in sort of a general fashion that says, hey, the neighborhood association wants to support for any potential grant funding or whatever.
Okay. So,
So
next
Chair,
thing,
you just have her send one to KP Crew and copy the Parks Board? Would that be appropriate?
I would automatically tag Dawn in it because that's just the right thing to do to make sure it gets to all the right spots.
I mean, yeah. Robert can keep it in all the extra files he's got.
Sorry, Robert.
No, and the other thing is just keep an eye, I mean, you guys are always here, right? There's no mystery. Keep an eye out. If you see the agenda item come up, you can come speak on it too, right?
Right. Okay, a couple of other things. We were going through the park plan. And some of items came up that we have been calculating over the last 3 to 6 months at our meetings. I'm just gonna start off at the top of my list. So with Kaiser Little League, some of the residents would like to see better ADA access. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse with parking. Y'all are aware of what the problem is, and none of us know how to fix it. There is some fencing and seats, and benches that need to be replaced. Jackie and I go by there quite often, and there's always trash everywhere. Typically, we pick it up if it's outside the fence, but inside the fence, it's kind of up to them. Some of the buildings and bike stations need to be repaired, and we would maybe work with traffic to see if we can get a new bike repair station put over there. We've talked to some of the residents who live over that way, and they would love to see a bike repair station accessible that they can access. And I'm not sure what that looks like from your point of view.
Well, I know that Hearst Sangster put the 2 in, right? He did the one here and then the one out at KRP. And that was done through a grant, if I recall, but it wasn't our grant.
I
Or
think
maybe it
that's
was.
correct.
One of them was.
I don't remember, but yeah.
It's been a hot minute. Like, I think the one with KRP was done in 17 after we did the big toy, right? 'Cause
Yeah, it was about a year later.
Cause I think it was like right after we did the actual fall service and we changed that out too.
Yeah. I will say this, I know that those are a big maintenance hassle for the city. They are constantly getting broken. And we're constantly ordering parts and constantly repairing them because people are just really hard on things for some reason.
Quit buying your tools at Harbor Freight.
I do think they're well made. It's just for some reason,
No, I mean, they snap.
They
the
break a
cables
lot.
and- Yeah, I know.
but not saying we shouldn't put them in. There's a need, there's a need. I
That
see this one out here
accountability
get used
thing,
a lot,
This one's used a lot.
crazy.
This one gets you a lot.
Yeah.
One of the other things was the walking path and potholes and maybe finding a way to go from the Little League to the walk path so they don't have to go all the way down and they can just cut across. But the ditch makes that a little bit of a challenge. Was one of the things that came up. I just told them keep going down. It's like another 50 steps.
For clarity, the walk path Which walk path are you referring to?
The, Parkway Walk Path.
There's no connection from
There's
there
no
to the Little League is
connection
what
to
you're
the
saying?
Little League, although there's lots of fence repairs on the walk path that need to be done, but that is not for you guys. I have that in with ODOT already. Mike Whittem Park, wondering if we could maybe add a small dog park area over there?
We'd have to get that put in a master plan first, but is there a lot of people asking for that?
And get
Yeah.
about 225.
225 people in your area have asked for that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's
They're
quite a
tired
few.
of going to Cape,
Yeah, well,
to the big park.
and yeah, I hear about it all the time, but it's, our city size, having one dog park, off-leash dog park, is difficult, especially when it's full and,
Well, I think
Yeah.
one of the barriers though there is the only
Flooding.
parking is at the church that the
church.
city does not own. And so that creates some challenges as it relates to how that park could function. You'd have to basically make it like all neighborhood parks where it's a walk-to destination. It is a pretty significant staff, ask because, people love dog parks, but the one thing they don't like is dealing with their dog's mess after the fact. And so that's a lot of work on our staff. I think if the neighborhood association, had a plan, and maybe this is something they wanted to adopt, again, I think Robert and the city are willing to listen to it. But again, there has to be a long-term solution for that, because then what happens is you build something and then, people change their volunteer habits. Now all of a sudden Robert's saddled with something that, is just one additional thing to deal with his, very small staff and seasonals. And so,
I do have 5 people that said they would be willing to go over once or twice a week and help with
Well,
maintaining that.
but when they win the lottery and they move to
Hearsay
Belize.
is one thing, action is different.
Yeah, no, and you're right, and I mean, hope is not a plan, right? And
Right.
so when they win the lottery and they move to Belize, then again, Robert's stuck now with an expectation of a service that didn't previously exist. We're really trying to focus on the core tenets of the stuff that we currently have, I think. But, again, I think we all agree, if somebody comes forward and says, hey, we got this really cool idea, we're gonna pay for the whole thing, we got a 10-year plan that we're gonna give to the city, and we're gonna take care of this, and there's not gonna be a single problem, you won't buy a single dog poop bag and never get a call on it. Great. B, let's go buy those lottery tickets together. But, they're good ideas. I mean, I just think, I just personally, having been at Net Zero when we're struggling to identify resources to do the basic stuff, and now that we have the opportunity to do some cool stuff, I just don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater with ideas and then
I agree.
overwhelm our park system. That's my own personal thing. There's other people up here that you can convince, but I'm just sensitive to that.
I agree.
And again, the master plan's another thing, right? So, yeah.
Any way we can extend the community garden into some unfenced areas over there? The Mike Whittem Garden?
What would be the purpose of that?
Community members have been on a waiting list and still aren't getting access to regular garden beds. So they asked if we could get garden beds put in that are outside the fence that they can still utilize and care for. Or is that a Marion and Polk?
Well, I think what you're asking is that we create a city garden that's not managed by Marion Polk Food Share. Is that what you're asking?
I was hoping it would be a combination of both.
But outside the fenced area?
Yep.
Or just expand the fenced area?
If we can expand the fenced area, that would be great, but
Well, the reason the fence exists is because people, especially, I mean, in high traffic areas, it's not necessarily high traffic area, but there's a lot of people walking through there, is they'll just steal the food. So all this work that you put into the garden, they're, all summer long, you come back to pick your prized zucchini and it's not there. So
Takes my rutabaga.
the fence serves a purpose.
I don't even know what rutabaga is. I gotta look it
I'm here, you said that there's not enough room and there's a waiting list that they can't get on. So it sounds like expanding the garden itself so
Expanding
that
the garden would be great.
the
That would be my
waiting list is no
first
longer a
option.
hiccup.
But if that isn't
Have you reached out to Marion
possibility.
Polk Food Share to see if they could expand the size of the garden, the footprint? I mean, we would probably allow an expansion of some sort. I know it's been expanded one time already.
I have some of it written up, but I have not talked to them. I figured I'd come to you first and figure out where I needed to direct that to.
We would entertain the idea of an expansion if they were supportive of assisting in that construction piece.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that the more opportunities we can give up people opportunity to do that, yeah.
I think the city would also entertain the idea of another community garden going in somewhere else, like if there's a need. That might not be the only location we should be looking at.
Country Glen Park, you wouldn't even need to water. The water's right
Yeah,
there.
right?
If there's another area in mind that could accommodate the families waiting for that, that would be great.
Well, you know, my thought is if you got a bunch of families that are waiting and you know them, chat with them. Let's see what ideas we can come up with. Right?
Yep.
You
I have
know,
a 5-page document just from chatting.
I'm sorry.
I have a 5-page document already just from chatting.
Wow.
I have somebody drawing up a plan to add an expansion.
Sweet.
Cool. What else?
That's all I got.
Okay. Tammy, I appreciate you being here. Like your passion, love your ideas. Don't give up on them just because the answer may not necessarily be exactly what you hope for. You know, there's ways to make the bubble move a little bit. It just takes a little bit of desire to keep on the ball and want to move that needle a little bit. But yeah, that's cool.
Sounds great.
Appreciate the feedback on the skate park thing too. All right, sir, I don't know your name, I apologize. Did you want us to come up and say something? Sure. Okay, come on up and then state your name and state your residence for the record, and then I'm gonna hand this back to Dawn, and she'll get a little bit of information from you.
My name is Keith Standridge. I was interested in, or if there's a need to be a volunteer to assist the Park and Recreation's Advisory Board, or whatever I can do.
Great.
I've lived in Kaiser about 21 years and up in the Vineyards area. I used to actually pastor in Kaiser, and so I'm kind of like a semi-retired pastor now. I kind of know the area that she was speaking about a little bit. So anyway, if there's a need, I'm willing. I love to plan, organize, strategize, things like that. My big passion right now in my young age, is pickleball. I currently play 5 to 6 days a week with about 25 to 30 people that rotate in and out of courthouse clubs or outdoors when the weather's better, of course. So I'm very thankful for the new 6 courts built over there in Kaiser Rapids. But anyway, I'm not sure what I'm getting into, but I'm willing to listen, willing to do. Maybe down the road, if you guys are interested at all, I'd be interested in maybe organizing some tournaments for pickleball, especially for the community. Things like that. I just love young people, kids, youth, people. I like to get people involved and just have a lot of fun and get to know each other. And I've learned that pickleball in Kaiser is almost like a cult now. We're
You're not wrong.
yeah, it's a pretty tight community. But anyway, I'm just here to, whatever questions you have, I'll do my best.
Well, you took the first step and that's showing up. And so congratulations on doing that. I am not ignoring you. I'm actually actively looking for an email to give you your first opportunity to come in and experience some great opportunities to volunteer in Kaiser. Robert, what's our cleanup day? Is it the 8th or the 15th?
Please do the 8th.
15th. So March 15th, holy, that's going to be a busy day. March 15th is the annual Civic Center cleanup. And so we will have upwards of 150 volunteers starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock. I'll be here at 7. But going around this entire property and cleaning up vegetation and stuff like that. We really just, it's a concerted effort by Kaiser Rotary and Clyde Creek Watershed Council to kind of beautify this area. does two things. One, it feels great, except for when you grab the barberries, don't do that. But it feels great because you get to see an actual project that gets concluded in one day, get to meet a lot of people, and people recognize you as somebody that wants to show up, and we will keep calling. So you made the first step, which is being here and showing up, and I highly encourage, if you want, be here on March 15th, 9 a.m. You can stay for as little or as long as you want, and you know, there's lots of opportunities, both with the Rotary groups, with all of our neighborhood associations, with Clyde Creek Watershed Council, and then also with our Chamber of Commerce, where they do volunteer projects. And so those are all great opportunities to engage. Every one of those organizations in some fashion does something in a park at some point through the year. So. And I'm glad that you love pickleball. I have to learn how to play that game.
It's fun, yeah. So are there any responsibilities, or just say I'm here?
Just show up, find me, you know, you get there on March 19th, find me, find Counselor Kohler, he'll be there.
15th.
What did I say?
March 15th,
You
yeah.
said 19th.
15th.
But it is the
It's one of
15th.
those days between the 1st and the 30th.
Okay.
The fifth, March
It's the 15th.
15th.
This is Saturday.
Show up, find myself, Counselor Kohler, or anybody else that's on the board here, and just say, I'm here, and we'll put you to work. Adam will be there. We're gonna put Adam in charge of the dumpster this year. He's gonna be lifting all the containers. He doesn't know that yet. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is.
And maybe, and then down the road when appropriate, and the weather's better, I have a high interest in maybe help sponsoring or help volunteering to conduct or organize or lead a tournament, if that's possible for the city. Get a lot of people involved. I'm sure I could get many people. So that's my interest anyway.
A tournament for pickleball specifically.
Preferably, yes, pickleball.
I didn't know if you were a futsal fan,
Oh, yes.
Maybe it was rugby, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But, okay, pickleball.
Involved in fantasy football for about 16 years, and I finally got out of that. So I just, now it's,
I think they call it fantasy football because I've never won it, so it's clearly a fantasy for me that I'm ever going to be successful. I've played it with people who literally did it by whether or not they liked the team's jersey, and they won.
yeah.
You look good, you play good, I guess. I don't know. Robert, what's your thought? I don't know. You had it. No?
No.
Okay. So tournaments, if this gentleman, Keith, wants to do a tournament, he can talk to you about potentially reserving that and stuff?
Currently, the pickleball courts aren't reservable, so
That's correct.
that's a conversation y'all will need to probably have again this spring,
Yeah.
like we discussed. Kind of set a ground rules, and then we were gonna come back to the
Right, yeah.
talking
Well,
board on that one, so.
Keep an eye on the agendas. Make sure, please sign up with Dawn. That way, as those conversations come up and we start to kind of build that, you can definitely be part of that conversation as well.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot.
Great to have you.
Mr. Lawyer, Chair Lawyer,
Yes, sir.
may I suggest we get his information to get to Dawn?
Oh, Dawn's-
And then maybe be in contact with Mr. Rushton that may also be interested in helping put that together.
Sounds great. Dawn, you've got his information? Perfect. All right, thanks, sir.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right, now. Today's been a good day. All right, our next item, anybody else want to talk? Peggy, I'm very happy to see you. I know you don't want to talk, I just want to say hi to you, I want to acknowledge you. Very, very happy to have you here tonight. For anybody that doesn't know, watching this meeting right now, if you don't know about the Peggy and Jerry Moore Gardens, you need to learn about it. It's a great deal. Peggy does a great job caretaking this beautiful garden over here on the city's property next to the skate park, so check it out. Let's see, number 5, matching grant applications. So I'm just gonna, before we dive into this one, if it's the will of the board, I can abstain from doing this. I don't have any actual conflict or even a potential conflict of interest. I do have a bias. I love this project. I want it to happen. But there is nothing legally that would require me not to vote on it. But if you feel that way, I'm totally fine not voting on it. But this is the matching grant request from the Kaiser Gold Star Families Memorial Monument Group I'd like to ask Tim and Andrew, are you coming up to you on this one? To come forward, and they're just going to talk to us a little bit about this grant to be considered. And then, yeah. So before we get going, yeah, please, you can give it to Dawn and she can pass it down the way. Is there anybody, I mean, I've actively participated on this group. I don't vote with the group, but I do provide them information. I kind of work a little bit behind the scenes. Is anybody uncomfortable with me engaging in this conversation?
No.
No.
Cool. Clay's not here. I'm just kidding. All right, Tim and Andrew, if you would please introduce yourselves and state your city of residence for the record, and then tell us a little bit about this project and the nature of the request that you all have before us.
All right, I'm Tim Berry from Elmira,
I'm Andrew Hemingway from here in Kaiser.
Great.
and let me congratulate you and Lisa on your recent election victory.
Wait, thank
It was a
you.
hard-fought battle.
It was.
We were in the trenches.
Absolutely.
So it's been a few months since we appeared before the board. We've had some great progress in our fundraising, and tree came down today, so there's progress in the fountain. I know, sad we lost the tree. Also, I'd like to say, this was not intentional. I don't know what happened there, but we definitely showed
Feels
up green.
coordinated, which is a positive.
Well, there you go. So a unified front.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was your uniforms.
We're both military, so it does work out nicely. The progress is progressing nicely. We've had a lot of community support. We raised just over $10,000 so far for the project. The way it will work from here is once we've raised half of the cost of the actual granite engraving and the delivery, which is about $55,000, we can order it. And the item that you have in front of you is kind of the vision of what we're looking at as far as it goes. I would like to apologize, that's the extent of my ability to utilize PowerPoint, so it may look a little
Yes, brilliant.
primitive, if you will. So I think we start out with the first page is the park as it looks right now. Aerial, that's from Google Maps, with the fountain and everything in place. Then I removed the fountain, and we have the monument sitting in the middle. There's a couple of proposals, one with all of the service flags kind of surrounding the monument. Another one with all the flags on one side of the monument. You can also placement and which way the monument faces, because it is kind of an elliptical shape. There's a number of ways that we can position it to maximize its visual appeal in the park. Do you all have any questions for me? 'Cause
Well, I think that, so as the group talked about this is all conceptual, nothing's been laid out. Ultimately, Adam has a brilliant idea of cutting out cardboard stuff and
Correct, that's-
going and placing it. He's gonna feng shui it and do all the wonderful things there. But I think in terms of like the general concept,
Correct.
this was really helpful for the board to sort of visualize what this can potentially look like. When I talk about the board specifically, I'm talking about the committee that's working towards this. I think the general consensus, at least at the time, is do the flags around the monument itself. And then frankly, we just talked a little bit about placement, and that we're not limited to the fountain as the location, right? The fountain needed to come down for a whole host of reasons and this, but, you know, as Adam's gonna go out and place the thing, he might find the perfect spot where the sunrise hits it, and it just creates a thing where it's just the most amazing thing. One of the cool side notes here is if you get into the back pages where it has the illustrations of the monument and the things that are gonna potentially be there, as we talked, we were sort of Googling ideas, or I was, and I stumbled across an artist who did a pencil rendering of the Soldier's Cross. And Andrew was able to come up with one. It's on the third page, second to last page, where it's actually colored. But it's an artist's rendering in pencil of the Soldier's Cross. And I reached out to him, just cold called him on Facebook, and said, hey, you know, we're doing this thing. I'd really like permission to consider using this in concept if it's the committee's will to do that. And he responded in the affirmative. In fact, he was actually really emphatic about that possibility. So this will have the recommendation of the committee, and ultimately the board will get the opportunity to look at that. And, you know, there's nothing offensive on here, right? But we'll generally give it the thumbs up.
We want to keep all of, anything offensive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I did talk about, and this is one of the things that actually just really hurts, you know, doing this in color would be beautiful. My thought is when this gets spray painted, not if, it is a when, because there's dirt bags out there. The color I think would be really, really challenging. I don't know what the material is, and I think that the imagery in the black and white is pretty solid. The one that has to be color is the Iwo Jima flag
Right,
raising.
so all of the images on the monuments are engraved in the monument.
Right.
So it is an engraving. Anytime you add the color, like you said, that's gonna be quite an issue to kind of get it back to that
Right.
original color. Most of the monuments that you see around the country are in that black and white. So
Okay.
they're, the ones that you see in color are kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
it's kind of odd to see them in color.
So Tim, your ask here is for $10,000. You got $10,000 in capital raised already. What's the intent of this $10,000?
The $10,000 will go to most of our labor and additional materials have been volunteered. So that assists us greatly with the cost. The $10,000 will go to that initial down payment, which is kind of a time crunch. Because if we're looking to do this by Gold Star Family Memorial Day, or Gold Star Mothers and Family Memorial Day, which is the 28th of September of this month, or of this year, excuse me. We do have to have some lead time with the cutting, the engraving, the delivery, all of that. So those are a couple things. But yeah, it goes towards the actual monument itself.
Okay. I think one of the things for the board to consider is that this would be out of step with typically how we do non-youth projects. There is precedence because of the youth program to put the money forward first, but that's not part of the regular parks grant. And so in conversations with the committee, I said that the request would be, if the Parks Board feels strongly that the Parks Board wants to support this, that in the motion, it would be a request to council to consider an exception to policy to allow for the funding to go up front, okay? Because there is such a tight timeline of March 1st to get this funding in place in order to meet the 50% deadline, they still have to come up with another $10,000. Well, 7-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. But as Tim mentioned, there was a big milestone today, the trees come down. That's gonna immediately garner some attention. Adam is gonna have a sign put out there that has the QR code that's gonna generate some more interest. We got t-shirts coming that's gonna have a QR code on the back. You know, there's already some conversations that are gonna happen. They're gonna have to work really hard to get the extra $10,000. And so I suppose if the board felt really strongly about it, we could say in the motion, you know, approve at X dollar amount with a request for policy exemption contingent on them meeting their fundraising demand for the 50% down payment. So I think they're aware of that. I've had to have some tougher conversations with some other fundraising opportunities that frankly we're not ready in some of those organizations yet to do, and that's totally understandable. But you know, they're here, and I'm very appreciative of them being here. Robert, is it fair to say that in the last 2 fiscal years, we've spent less than 50% of the grant money?
I don't have those numbers in front of me right this second, so I'm going off memory. I think you're not far off. There were some challenges with the COVID thing that
Yep.
kind of messed with your guys' grant program, but it doesn't seem to be flying out the door like it was at one time.
No.
So,
And this has had broad community support. I think, Tim, you said most of them are individual donations, right? We're not seeing massive chunks of change coming from any organizations, right? A lot of it's
No,
individual
we've only had
donations.
a couple of businesses.
Yeah.
Actually, most of them have been individual donations. I have, yeah, the list that I've gone through is all mostly, I would say 95% individuals.
Gwen?
What about putting like articles in the, like the Kaiser Times, the Statesman, or have you been doing that?
We have, there has been an article in the Statesman Journal. I've conducted an interview back when we got approval from the city with the Kaiser Times, so I can continue.
Yeah, like
with them.
continuing
We've-
it,
We've
and
had
then
some radio interviews, so that,
And did you generate any money from these? Or you don't know?
yeah, we don't know because it's a QR code or a website, and who these individual donors are. I know some of them, but most of them I don't. So we have a committee that's out canvassing the area, and if somebody donates, it just shows up in the Woody Williams Foundation.
Yeah.
And my question, and I don't think we covered this, is typically the project has to be completed by June 30th. That was my question with the matching grant, because it is not going to be completed by that time. And I know that, but just in the motion,
Yeah.
did we at least say that we're gonna push that out, whatever it is? Because, you know, I don't want it to be denied on a technicality.
What are your thoughts on that, Robert?
it can be done. It's,
If the check's cut March 1st, assuming this goes through, the money's spent, which accomplishes and it's not a finished product, but
I don't know, we might need to dig into that a little bit, but if the check is cut then, and we're buying the product, it's just a little different. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
totally different than what we're used to seeing for this grant program, but we understand, I mean,
well, and I think that, I mean, there's other opportunities. I know that there are some grants being considered, and they're bigger dollar grants. But decisions probably won't be made on those until the spring, my guess. And, you know, there's all kinds of things happening. I know the Elks is considering a fundraising opportunity for Super Bowl. Rotary is potentially considering a standalone auction item for this. You know, I think that the question frankly becomes, does the city want to put the best foot forward to meet that initial deadline that was set in the council meeting of that September time period? And ultimately, that's up to the council, because again, regardless of what typically this board would say, yep, we're good to go and it's done, right? But because we'd have to ask for an exception to policy of the council, if the board chooses to go forward with that, the council would ultimately have the ability to say no or yes or whatever, so. Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Chair Lawyer. I can tell you that from the discussions we've had at the council level, this is something that we will want to support.
It is a risk, I mean, frankly, and, you know, I don't believe this is not gonna be something that's not delivered. I mean, it may not happen in September, but I think it's gonna happen. Like, come hell or high water, this is gonna happen, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're
We're steaming ahead.
fully
Yeah.
intending on having this installed on the 28th.
Right. What do you think, Robert? You got any major heartburn over anything being discussed?
nope. No heartburn.
All right. Jill, what are your thoughts? Make sure you have your mic on, make sure you're talking to the mic, otherwise people in TV land don't hear it.
Oh, it's on. I don't know what was discussed at the last one, and I'm not really sure on the policies. I'm kind of more new to the board, but I feel like this is something that the residents of Kaiser will get behind and fully support. I think finding a way to make it happen is how we should proceed.
Okay, Gwen?
I have to agree with that. I think, you know, this is a good cause. I mean, it's something that's in everybody's heart, you know, so I think it's gonna, somehow we're gonna have to make it happen.
Liam?
Okay, well, I guess I've been told to do this. I make a motion.
Hold on. I actually don't think you're allowed to do that, but
That's what I was trying to say.
Counselor Kohler is trying to say it for failure. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's fine. I'm not aware much of this grant program, what this does, but I feel like there should be at least some compensation, or not compensation, some contribution from the city at least, depending on whatever the amount is we're giving.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
You're a junior this year, is that correct?
I'm a sophomore this year.
Oh my goodness, I love this. All right. I'd like to chat with you offline about a goal that you could set. Maybe we can work on a fundraiser that we can pull through the school.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you have the passion and the drive to do, I mean, you've already done some amazing things, and I love the reports that you come back in here with, and I think that if we can engage young people in the school to want to care about this, I mean, that'd be great. And you could set a small goal, maybe set it at $100 or something, see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd really like to put McNary's stamp on this as something that they put forward a concerted effort to be part of. And
That's a good idea.
I want to chat with you about that a little bit and see what that looks like, because
Sure.
I want to make sure you're there at the ribbon cutting and get to stand up there and be proud of the work that you've done on this board so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you called us last February. Or no, you were here last February, testified. I was in
Yeah.
DC on the phone. It was very uncomfortable. All right, Michael.
But I took care of it, it was fine.
Yeah, and I think kind of waiving the way that it's usually done. I mean, this is a very large project compared to some of the projects we do. So I can see that it's going to take a little bit more energy to get it completed.
Okay. Lisa?
I'm 100% behind it. I mean, we need to get it done, and sooner rather than later. So,
Mr. Brown, do you care to opine on this? I hate to call you out, but I just wanted to, since you're here.
I was over there today to get pictures, and also over to Pronto Signs to pick up the posters to go in the A-frame stands that we have. So those are ready to go out there, and took pictures. I was surprised to see the tree was down. That they had like the last 10 feet of the trunk. All the other brush was cleaned up, and so. I think it's a great idea. I think this is a proper use of the park fund. It's a little different than the past, but that's okay.
I mean, we've done some cool things with the park. So we did mosaics, tile. That was unique. Now Councilor Christopher came forward and said, this is in the park. This is a super cool idea. I thought it was a bit insane, but it's beautiful, and it's added some value over there to the splash pad. So,
Yeah. My thoughts on the orientation is that it should probably face west with maybe a little bit south, so that the sunset in the evening comes through the spot. So. And then the flags, just whether you want them to be all behind that in the silhouette, or if you want them around it, this could go either way.
Yeah.
And we are completely open to suggestion. So this is, you know, the committee is driving this getting here.
Yeah.
How it looks, that, you know, everyone's input is welcome. Absolutely. We're not just, well, this is the way it's gonna be. Like I said, everything that you've seen there in the handouts, that those are just suggestions and ideas that the committee's come up with.
Yeah, the timing is perfect for me because I'm writing a grant for the State Parks Veterans Memorial. So that was super helpful. I snagged a copy of it.
Oh, there you go.
Adam, I just wanted to say thank you. You know, I think Public Works and Park staff turned around really quick to help us get that tree down. That was super, super helpful. You know, this has been a very organic discussion and process. And, you know, calling Robert and saying, hey, they agreed to take the tree down. He's like, cool. He's like, I was going to work on that, but thanks for doing it. Yeah, it's been cool. And this is one of those really good, feel-good projects, and I'm thankful that we're progressing the way we are. So, yeah, I'm absolutely biased on this. This is, this committee is great to work with. I think that you've got some passionate people here, and it has a very personal and very real tie to our community, and I think that it's gonna be good. You know, Liam, I think you were giving it your best go, and while I don't think you can officially make the motion, why don't you say the motion? We'll get one of these folks to see if they like it or not, and we'll have a first and a second. So you can introduce it, I'll get a first from somebody and a second from somebody if they like it.
Okay, so.
Can we do that? I don't know. You know, this is, the rules are made up and the points don't matter, right?
Okay, so then.
Whose line it is anyway?
I unofficially make the motion that we approve the, is it the matching grant application?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Is there, okay, so that's the motion.
Is there a second then? Is that
Well,
what I
we're
asked?
gonna do the official piece of it, and if there's layers to it, you need to add, Lisa.
Okay, the only thing I want to add is I want to add the amount,
Okay,
pending council approval. Is that what we need to do because of the procedural part?
well, I think that, the way that I might suggest the motion would be to approve the amount, whatever the amount is,
Right.
for the, matching grant and request of council an exception to policy to pay in advance of completion of the project.
And,
Would that, do you think that satisfies it, Robert?
I do.
Okay,
okay, what he said, so moved,
with how much amount?
with the amount of $10,000.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. We have an introduction, we have a motion, we have a second. This is
Yes.
brand new parliamentary procedure. I think Shannon Johnson's probably watching this, pulling his hair out. Thank you, Liam, for indulging my insanity. Any discussion on this? I think it's great. Tim, Andrew, thank you for being here. These guys work hard.
They do.
They've had to
And,
indulge a lot of
I appreciate
questions.
you and all of your effort.
Thank you,
This-
thank you all,
I mean-
and my co-chair, fortunately couldn't be here tonight, Shauna. She's dispatching fire protection down to
California's on
California,
fire.
so.
Right.
She's been quite busy over the last week and a half.
All right, all those in
So-
favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously with those present.
All right.
Great, so the next order of business, I think what we'll do is we'll take this to the city council meeting probably on Tuesday under the Parks Report, introduce it, right? Or do we want to wait for you all to do what you need to do first?
I think we can.
Okay,
So are you going to?
yeah, I
do
can
the
go.
Parks
I
Report?
gotta go anyways.
Me
There's
too.
somebody getting promoted on Tuesday, my daughter's going, it's a good thing, dogs and cats living together, it's a wonderful day.
Thank you all.
All right, hey, congratulations, guys, thank you for being here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, good job, Liam. Counselor Kohler, we're gonna talk, I'm just kidding.
happen to know
Reassignment of parks for board members.
Are
This
we
is fun.
doing the Parks Reports before we do the reassignment?
No?
Well, but.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry,
thought
I'm
we took
sorry,
one.
I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to give David something he doesn't want.
Oh,
Um,
it's always fun.
New old business, Tanya's not here.
But I can say that Willamette Manor looks spectacular. It's a little spongy.
Oh, spongy.
It's
Yes,
a little
we're
spongy.
Back to spongy.
But, you know, there's not leaves all over, there's not branches all over. It looks good.
Okay, Joe? Hidden Creek and Northridge?
I have not been to either one of those.
Can't find it, can you?
Northridge?
It's hidden.
No,
No, she's not.
No, Northridge, actually, is Northridge a hidden one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Northridge literally is
Really
hidden.
is.
It's
hidden
behind
back in there.
Albertsons.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Or
It's just
whatever it's called
kind
now.
of-
I think
What?
Clear Lake's,
Yeah, but I haven't been to either one of those, and so
Okay.
All
I
right.
have not had a chance to.
Lisa,
Gwen. We forgot Gwen.
what?
We forgot Gwen. Are
No,
we
I-
saving Gwen for last?
I said Gwen, didn't
No,
I?
you said Jill.
I started with Gwen.
No,
No, you
I
started
said Tanya, I did Tanya's, and then you jumped to Jill. Because I talked out of order.
You're right.
And I got everybody all confused.
Sorry, Gwen.
It's me.
It's okay.
We were talking spongy, that's where I got me confused.
True.
Well, there was a lady on Facebook that was complaining about, there was a lot of fireworks going off at Claggett Creek and stuff. I wish I would have got back to her and stuff, because then I couldn't find the Facebook post and stuff. So I didn't, when I was there, I didn't find any evidence of it or anything. But, you know, I guess we have to pay attention to that. When I got there, the City of Salem Public Works was at the park to check the wastewater levels. It was at 29 inches, and the hole is 6 feet deep. And it was so low, that means that other water is also seeping in. It wasn't too high. They showed me all the sensors that they check it and stuff. There has to be, that was kind of cool. So I thought, boy, this is a cool
Did you get to
thing.
learn about INI?
INI? What's
Yeah.
that? What's that?
It's like basically when you get groundwater that seeps through the pipes and stuff like that.
That must have been what it was. They probably said those words, but they were telling me, and I was so excited, them telling me all this stuff. I said, oh, I'm gonna go to Parks Board tonight and tell them all this stuff.
If you would have said INI, I probably would have been like, you're my best friend now, but
Well, can I still be your best friend?
of course.
There was just a little, a minor amount of graffiti on a utility box there by the parking lot. And then there was also, I don't know if a car or a motorcycle down the embankment. There's big giant tire print in the mud.
Well, if it's just one, that driver had a
Just
bad
one.
day in a car.
So, yeah, but the other side is like rock and stuff, so this was the muddy part. So it's really weird. I mean, it was really high,
Could have been healthy nutria, I don't know.
you know? So anyways, and then, Clear Lake, you know, it's a strip of grass next to the school. Nothing spectacular about it, just grass,
The trees.
Lots of trees.
The trees.
trees,
Pine
trees and
cones,
grass,
Squirrels. Yeah.
picnic table. But nothing to write home about.
Well, we've already asked Jill. Thank you, Jill, for being prepared to talk early. Lisa, do you want to talk again?
Sure.
Palmacia and Sunset?
I love to talk. So Sunset Park looks beautiful. I know, shocking, I like to talk. Sunset Park is beautiful. It's always beautiful. The river's pretty high. Apparently volunteers spread gravel. Public Works got gravel for them, and so right inside the gate, it's all nicely gravelled all the way to the start of the larger trees. It is just a beautiful park. It's always a beautiful park. Doesn't matter if it's winter, it doesn't matter if it's summer, it's a gorgeous park all the time. And then Palmacia on the sign, the Palmacia sign, it had a crack in it, and the crack seems to be getting a little bit worse. So the big painted sign. And it's kind of, part of it is forward a little bit, so the crack goes almost down to the bottom now.
Okay.
And the straw wattles are doing their job, keeping stuff from wiping out. I mean, with all the heavy rain we've gotten, it hasn't wiped the path out. It's got, what do we call it, hog fuel, chips, whatever that is on the path. It's easy to walk down. It's not slippery. It's nice and wide. It's beautiful. It's been mowed recently. So again, it looks spongy, but it's that time of year.
Thanks.
That's it.
Anything on anything on your other park?
Well, Kaiser Rapids is always, I mean, are they moles or are they gophers?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
You know they're moles if they're telling you all the secrets.
Maybe a little bit of both.
yeah. I mean, it seems like they are thriving.
In certain areas, they're very
Yes.
much thriving.
Yes, amazingly, that's the areas that people use a lot, so that the wildlife don't take care of it.
Well, I'm
Because
sure glad we didn't put a soccer field over there because we'd have dead rats everywhere.
it's super fun. If you stand out there, you can watch the great blue herons hunting moles and gophers out in there. It's fun. I
Do
mean,
the average blue herons go after them?
No, only the great ones. Sorry. But this is Kaiser, so we have more great ones than the average.
That's fair.
Just saying.
fair.
Again, Rivers High, it looks like in the disc golf, that's apparently sign language for disc golf. They've moved a lot of the baskets around, so it looks like they've changed up the layout of it, which I don't know if that's good or bad, because I just make sure to watch, because those discs hurt. If they hit you with it, it hurts.
What do you say? I know in real golf, you say four.
Four.
You say it in frisbee golf too?
I'm not sure.
No, they say dude.
Bruh. I don't know. There's too much poison ivy out there.
No, there's no poison ivy, but a lot of
Oak.
poison oak.
Poison
I
oak.
used to play urban golf. That was fun. Find a building and you throw your frisbee until you hit the building. It was a lot of fun until the cops caught you.
It's like the skaters going into yeah, never mind.
Adam, you had something you wanted to bring up. What do you got, sir?
Actually, I was working on the agenda next week. I don't think we're gonna be able to get on the agenda on Tuesday, but February 3rd should be, that timing should work with everybody.
For this request?
For the Parks Grant request.
Oh, for the Parks Grant, okay.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Great. What would be helpful from this body in support of that work that you are doing?
I have this a resolution from the council, which is usually what's required, but I think I'm good so far
Okay.
on the grant stuff.
Well, if there's, I know that we're soliciting a few letters of recommendation. I'm working on one organization. I know Councilor Parsons is working on another.
I got the one from Councilor Parsons.
I haven't even started mine.
Okay.
I'll have it done Thursday. I have my Rotary meeting Thursday, so I'll have it done Thursday.
But we'll still on Tuesday talk about it when we get the Parks
Yeah,
report.
so Tuesday, we'll
So-
talthis about this grant
Right.
and say this is what
And then,
this is what the recommendation is, and then, council will hear it, but they may not take any action on it Tuesday.
Right.
It may be February or whatever.
On the 3rd, yeah,
Yeah,
February 3rd.
okay. Great. Thank you, sir. Any others in the parks? Nothing, Liam?
Not in, it's not connected to Kaiser Rapids.
You've always got something.
Oh, yeah.
This is
So,
Liam's minute.
again, this doesn't have anything to do with Kaiser Rapids. It might down the line though, and I'll get to that in a moment. I'm in the formation of creating a club at McNary, that has to do with the Kaiser Parks. My goal, and I need to figure this out exactly, is to plan community service projects, specifically aimed at like the parks, whether it be restoration or helping the city with something if that's a possibility. And I plan to have it contribute to community service hours if I can get that request in with the school. So it will be it's another way for Kaiser's youth, specifically at McNary, but if there's any other people who don't go to McNary who want to be involved in it, then we can figure out a way to make that happen. But it's another way to allow them to get involved with the city and specifically the parks.
Liam, I think you're a rare gem of a human.
Yes.
So, been doing this a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4. I've seen fits and starts of youth participation coming out of McNary High School. I have a great contact, Miranda Coleman, who used to be the council liaison. She started doing projects with me when she was in 6th grade. She's now a sophomore in college. She could help you sort of outline what that looks like. I'm happy to help with that. I can get you any kind of project you want. We can design a project for you. I've done this with Robert. You know, we had a group of kids that said, hey, we want to do a project before prom. And so that day before prom, they went out and we did wood chips at, what was it, Willamette Manor? No, it was, what's the one up here?
Northview?
Yeah. When we did that, the wood chip
Which is
project
at Northview
there.
Terrace Park?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was for, but I remember you guys doing something up there.
Yeah, so I had, 25 kids out there and, I was driving the tractor around dumping wood chips and that's what we did for the day. And so, I want you to be encouraged by this. I want you to feel empowered in this, okay? Because you're going to affect very positive things in this role. People are gonna call you all kinds of weird names because you're out there doing things in your community, and you know what? Good for them. Because ultimately the things that you're gonna do are gonna be really, really impactful. And so, haters are gonna hate, do good work, all right? And I will support you 100% in anything you're trying to pull forward, whether it's through Rotary, whether it's through the Watershed Council, or whatever, all right? So anything you need, Robert knows how to get a hold of me. Yeah, we'll make it work.
Okay, thank you.
Robert?
Yes. Thank you, Chair Lawyer. Liam, that is awesome, man. Like, you're exciting me just listening to you. I have a million projects that just like popped up in my head when you were talking. So if you need ideas, let's talk. If you have your own ideas, or if the students that you're going to be working with have ideas, I'm always open to hear those ideas because I like to support other people's thoughts and ideas as well. Where my mind might go, you guys might come at me with something else, and that's fantastic. So we will absolutely work together great, and I will support those projects the best I can as well.
And we have a matching grant program.
Yeah. So money won't stand in your way.
We gotta keep an eye on this one.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna do good things.
No. Great, it was a great meeting when he came here just to observe, and we made him talk.
I agree.
I agree.
All right. Let's do our assignment of Parks Board positions. So we typically get to choose one, and then we do it based off of the lottery. So, Clay's gone, David's gone, Tanya's gone. What
is
should we
great.
pick for them first?
And Bob, well,
And Bob.
why don't we wait?
I feel like if we don't give Bob him Newton Park, we're gonna be in trouble.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Bob Newton Park, Bob.
Come on, Bob and Bob. It's a
All right.
Bob and Bob show.
So, let's see.
Now the stress.
We'll start with Tanya. Is anybody really, I'm taking Ryan J. Hill.
Okay.
I'm taking that from Shauna, or from, I'm taking Ryan J. Hill. That's my choice. That's gonna be my park this year. Anybody really want Willamette Manor? Okay, let's keep, Willamette Manor with Tanya. Let's see, who else?
I don't think she likes Willamette Manor.
She doesn't like Willamette Manor?
No, she doesn't get over there
Okay.
very much. So
Willamette Manor?
it's right on, it's by Holiday Swim Club. It's on Fifth Street.
I'll take that one.
No holiday, or you want Willamette Manor?
I'll
Okay.
take Willamette Manor.
All right, let's see. Clay has Bear and Chalmers Jones.
He wants Bear.
He wants Bear, we'll give him Bear.
I don't know that he cares about Chalmers Jones, but he wants Bear.
David likes Wallace House. Let's give him that. Bob gets him Newton Park. And then Jill, you're good on Willamette Manor.
Yeah.
Gwen, do you want to keep Claggett or Clear Lake?
I want Claggett again,
She loves Claggett.
Okay, Mike,
my favorite.
I'll keep Country Glen.
keep Country Glen. You got Kaiser out, no, I'm just kidding, which
No,
one?
I want Palmacia.
Palmacia for Lisa.
Is my,
Oh,
All
I
right.
expected her to say Sunset.
oh,
They're
no,
part of
I mean
it.
Sunset, I mean, the other ones are good, but
Okay, so Ryan J. Hill's done, Willamette's done, Country Glen's done, Cleggett's done, Bear's done, Wallace House done, Bob's done,
Bear.
Palmacia.
and Palmacia. So that leaves us Northview, Clear Lake, Chalmers Jones, which I'd be totally happy to take again if nobody really wants it. Kaiser Little League, Meadows, Hidden Creek, Northridge, Ben Miller, Mike Whittam, and Sunset. Should we do it by numbers? Let's do it by numbers.
it's not do it by numbers. It's harder to cheat with numbers.
Oh, did you? Huh?
Did you want to do random?
Yeah,
Okay, so we have them, the remaining parts of number,
yeah,
so.
Great.
follow that.
Can I clarify? So I have, Willamette Manor, I have Tanya and Jill.
No,
No.
just Jill.
just Joe.
So where is Tanya going?
Oh. What, where's she? Does
Mike, you
she-
got Country Glen, right?
I have
Where
Country
does she
Glen,
live
yes.
close to?
I think
mean-
Hidden Creek is the one that,
She's Hidden Creek.
Yeah.
Okay.
let's do Tanya Hidden Creek.
Tanya where?
Hidden Creek. It's probably closer to where she lived, I think.
So I have a question.
Which one's Jill doing?
Willamette Manor. Nope.
Payer only, right?
Yep. What? Yeah. Willamette Manor, right? Jill? Yeah.
So my question is, like a grade school lunchtime, can we switch our random one if we really have strong feelings
No!
with someone else? If somebody else agrees to it?
This isn't a white elephant gift. There's no stealing.
I'm not, no, I didn't say stealing, I said switch.
Well, these are very formal processes and rules.
Oh, okay. Did you couldn't even.
I don't know,
say that with a
Debbie.
straight face.
Well, Dawn's nicer than Debbie could be sometimes.
No.
Debbie was like, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit.
Well,
I never
right.
argued with her.
No,
Start on the side.
I just
You
want,
choose, boss.
I choose.
so I
Yes,
want
sir.
to know what number's what.
Start here then.
I just,
Huh?
Yep.
I hate this. I hate this a lot.
Robert's like, why did they let this guy stay on? Do we know what the numbers mean?
Yeah,
They're
Oh.
labeled
But I
next to a
wanna
part.
no, it's awful. I do not like this. No, I won't.
Look, I got S.
I got one.
I got an M.
Which
No,
which
yours is
number
an N.
Is it 9 or 6?
I don't know what number
Mine's
Sunset,
M.
that's the cool part of this, is I actually don't know what number went next to what part.
I got a line.
No, you don't get one.
Wait.
What am I doing?
Okay, it's rude.
Bob got 8.
Well,
What?
never mind.
Clay got 2. And who else we have that's missing? Loudon got 7.
I think that if we're gonna horse trade,
Loudon?
if you trade with somebody, you
my
gotta take
same
their
one.
parks report. Lisa's like, I just do them all
I'll do them all
anyways.
anyway, it's fine. I love park
same
reports, those
one.
are fun.
Tanya got 6.
I have
Or is it
my
9?
same
Or did
one.
she get 9?
Let me see 9. That's 9.
Oh, no, it looks like 6 to me.
Nope.
No, that's
Depends
good.
on what
9.
6 is.
I can confirm
You got B.
that. I wrote these.
You got B.
Or B.
Or Q.
All right, what's number
I
one?
hate this.
Number 1 is Northview, and who's that?
That's me. I don't even know where the hell Northview's at.
See?
Oh, it's this one up here, yeah?
By Albertsons, remember?
No.
Oh,
We just talked about
It's Northview.
wood chips.
Northview Terrace.
Same part.
But it doesn't say terrace. All right, number 2. Who's number 2?
That was Clay for Clear Lake.
All right, that's too easy for him. He lives right there. What a punk. All right, 3. Who's got 3?
I have 3.
Gwen's got 3.
That's Kaiser Little League.
Ooh,
oh.
I had them before.
nice. Who's got number 4?
I have
My
number
life's
4.
getting better.
Or an H?
I feel about Meadows.
That's up by,
I mean, I'll take it if no one else, I mean, it's fine.
And then 9, did I get that back one?
I'm 9.
You're 9. So 9 is Lisa, that's Sunset. And then.
It's rigged.
It is rigged.
It's rigged.
Okay, I'm not trading now.
It's the hanging chad.
Trading was off the floor.
Mike has 5.
Shaq is 8.
What
Bob
is
has
that?
8.
What's 5?
Chalmers Jones, right here.
Yeah, Bob has 8.
You want to switch?
What do you have?
I got Northview.
Sure.
Cool.
I've been
I got Chalmers Jones. She made the rules. I'm just doing them. I got 5 now. I got Chalmers Jones and Mike's got Northview.
So I have Northview again.
No?
No. What are you talking about?
I have 1.
Lisa's not even talking. She's happy.
I am. I'm in, I Sunset.
Hey, get-
I won the lottery. I'm gonna go.
Get some order here. I am gonna get a call from your boss. He's
Didn't
gonna
I
say,
say
quit
I have
screwing around in
1?
the meetings.
No, I didn't. I said I had 5, but I have 1 now.
No, you've always had one. You've
I-
always been number 1 in
I
my
had the
book.
number turned wrong.
Okay. Don, who are you missing?
I just need clarification. One is Northview and was Matt. Is it now Mike?
Yes, ma'am.
Northview's Mike.
In Country Glen, right?
Or Jones is Matt?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad to sow the seeds of chaos.
Skater.
So what did Shaq end up with? Number 8.
Yeah, what was Shaq? What was Bob's second one?
Him, Newton.
Yeah, Bob is Newton and Mike Whitman.
Huh? So he's the first name Parks.
Yeah. I feel like you have to have Mike Whittem Park.
No, I don't think I need to have Mike Whittem Park.
I think it's a good idea.
What did Dave Loudon end up with?
Dave's got,
Miller?
he's got Wallace House and Ben Miller. Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
Ben Miller's such a, I love that new playground.
Uh-huh.
I love that new playground.
It is full.
Like, I don't feel like I see nearly as much, I mean, there's still a lot of debris in like middle school, things that occur, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. Well, you know, you get all the, droppings and the debris and the talkie chip bag things and whatever else. Litter, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like running into Ben
And
Miller's
trails.
family when I'm walking.
Robert, staff report, what do you got, sir?
Yes, it was a very wet. Oh, my mic's not on. It was a very wet month. Very wet. Did I say it was wet? It was wet. Soggy.
Spongy.
Spongy,
Spongy.
whatever word you want to use. Willamette River's been at 21 feet for, I don't know how long, it's finally starting to drop. It's been depositing these wonderful large logs into places that we don't want them, but, you know, it is what it is. We can't stop it. The boat ramp down at Kaiser Rapids was, all but one dock was floating, so, I mean, that tells you how high it is, pretty high. Had a fair amount of limbs come down throughout our park system after, I think we had 2 windstorms. One was pretty good. So we've been cleaning up those. I know Clear Lake got hammered pretty good in that forested area. So we've been just kind of taking care of those as we've seen them, and I've gotten a few phone calls, people letting me know, so I appreciate that. But we got through the wet, and now we're finally starting to get dry again, so we've been trying to keep things mowed here and there. It's actually a fun time of year for us to get out and kind of spruce up a park if we can not get the mower stuck. Make them smell like fresh cut grass in the middle of winter and clean up the remainder of the few leaves that are sitting around. But I actually went to a training course last week for my pesticide applicator's license, and I got to learn a lot about the emerald ash borer, which Jenny came and talked to us about tree plotting and looking for a volunteer. And this is one more need for that right now, is there's a bug that is in Oregon. We've known about it for a little while now. Kind of took out all the ash trees on the East Coast, and it's slowly come across the U.S., and it is in Oregon. It's a concern about, you know, everybody's talking about it right now and what we're gonna do. We're slowly educating ourselves, and we're gonna build kind of an action plan of what to do for this bug. But basically, it's gonna kill all the ash trees at some point. So it's kind of a problem. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen all next year. It's gonna slowly take place. But we need to start doing something. So,
Well, and ash is a pretty soft wood.
it's actually not that soft.
No? Okay.
No.
It's not like poplar or-
No, it's not like a poplar.
Okay, okay.
It's actually a little bit more on the hardwood side. There's quite a few ash trees in Oregon. We have Oregon ash.
Yeah.
They love to grow along creeks and drainages and ditches, and they like wet feet and along, the Willamette River, along Claggett Creek,
Yep.
Labish Ditch. Those are the native ash trees. Then we have other ash trees that we've planted, along Schmal Road and places. Every third tree down Schmal Road's an ash tree. So, something we need to start talking about and figure out how we're gonna handle this as it, comes more prevalent and becomes a bigger problem. So there's a lot of things we can do. We can start being proactive and removing trees. We can start, doing injections of certain pesticides that are actually, help attack and keep the bug from killing the tree. But ultimately, long-term, nobody knows how long, could be 5 years, could be 35 years. We are going to start noticing a decline in our ash trees because of this. So just thought I'd let the board know. I do see some.
I've been to places and they had like traps for these kind of, like, can we do something like that?
So
Or it wouldn't be effective for this?
Yeah, the traps, you're not gonna solve the problem by trapping the bug. Basically, a lot of the traps just kind of gives, people an idea of how many bugs or if we have an infestation or not. It just kind of gives you some data, but it's not gonna stop them from,
No.
they live inside trees. They bore in the tree. They live in the tree. So you can't really get them to come out to just go in a trap. So, where I was going with that was, if we have any more volunteers, if any of you board members know of a volunteer who would like to help do tree inventory with our GIS program, that would be fantastic. Because right now, we want to know about all of our trees in Kaiser, but specifically, we need to know where all of our ash trees are so we can start creating a map showing our problem areas so that we know where those are moving into the future, creating our action plan for this bug. It'd be nice to have a map of the trees. I mean, I can sit here and tell you where I think most of them are, but I don't get all around in the entire city always, so there might be some that I don't know about. So, if you guys know of anybody, send them our way, send them to Jenny or me, and we'll put them in touch with the proper equipment and training that's needed. And it could be an hour a week, it could be 10 hours a week, it doesn't matter, it all adds up. It's all helpful. Basically walking around, identifying ash trees and marking them with a GPS unit.
I
So
might
pretty
recommend
simple
talking
type of
to-
work. If you
Talk
don't
to
mind walking.
OSU Extension. They get intern opportunities often, especially from college students that might want to do something like this. If you
Yeah.
need a connection with OSU Extension, I can hook you up.
I do not have a connection right now with them.
Okay. Because they've got a bunch of those programs.
We've had some interns, before from Chemeketa.
Yeah.
So anyways, OSU is very aware of this problem. They're actually out doing seed collections, and I mean, this is not like a new thing. It sounds like we do believe this bug has been in Oregon for possibly 10 years already. So it's encouraging when I heard that data, that knowing it's been here that long, it's not gotten completely out of control overnight. So we have some time, but we need to do something. So first thing is knowing where our ash trees are.
Are there any kinds of ash trees that are more resistant?
Not that I'm aware of. If it's an ash, the bug will eat it.
Okay,
Yeah. Doesn't sound like doesn't really matter.
okay. That's not the answer I wanted you to tell me.
Sorry.
But it's fine. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah. Ranger Hill Memorial, the tree came out today, you all heard. We have a group of volunteers, it's gonna start tomorrow, removing the shrubs in the island. And then at some point, I don't know when, but they'll be removing a lot of the boulders that are up there, and we're planning on, I met with Mark Hallier today and looked at where we can possibly keep some of the boulders in the park and reuse them in our landscape. So we kind of came up with some ideas for that, just to alleviate having to haul them away. And then any other boulders that we don't choose to use in the landscape, we will reuse in our park system throughout. We're constantly needing boulders for various reasons, whether it's just landscape purposes or keeping cars out of areas that we don't want them. So they will all be utilized somewhere else. And then, yeah, over the next, month or two, I think we'll put a plan in to remove the island as volunteers have time. So it's fantastic, starting.
And I do know one of the things that the committee has asked for is to do kind of a literal groundbreaking. And the idea was instead of the gold shovels, go out there with some sledgehammers and kind of bust up some cinder blocks a little bit. Maybe. We'll see how that looks, but they do really want to try to do some kind of a celebratory, kickoff. And so I've talked to Mark a little bit about that so we can get the timing right and
Okay.
folks can show up with their shirts and.
And you could sell opportunities to
Yeah.
break things, and then that would be fundraising.
Oh, yeah.
People love to break things,
Yeah, the problem is OSHA and laws and, kids with hammers.
but they paid for the
Yeah.
honor.
I think the event is something we could support. I don't know about people actually doing work that day. Like to be honest, that island has to be removed with an excavator or
Yeah,
a
I know,
backhoe.
for sure.
It's just a lot of heavy stuff.
But if
so-
we can dedicate like a cinder block and so we can go over and whack it with a hammer and that's
Yeah, we
the
can probably
extent
do
of
that, I
their.
suppose. If it's
Yeah.
gonna be the first cinder block to be removed. Yeah.
I know that Adam was really
Here's your
looking
safety
forward to
glasses
smashing
and-
it.
We were able to grade the gravel road down at Kaiser Rapids, so at the end of Shamawa, heading west. That was getting pretty bad. That rain really potholed it out really
Yeah, I
bad.
bet.
And this is something we do every winter, but found some time, got down there and were able to use our tractor and dig our box blade in and regrade it, rough it up. So it looks nice. Hopefully it stays nice for a while. If we can keep cars from driving 45 miles an hour through there, that would be fantastic. Did I report on parks cameras last month? I don't think I did. The parks cameras are installed and done and up and running. I still don't have access to it, but I know the police do, and so far so good. I don't know, I did hear one story at Kaiser Rapids that they were able to utilize some information off one, but so far, where the cameras went up, the problems haven't come back either. So maybe it's deterring some of the vandalism graffiti, which would
There's
be
some
fantastic.
others.
I'll take it.
There's,
Like, I'd rather not catch somebody and just have the problem go away than
Right.
utilize the camera for catching people, so.
did the cameras come with some under surveillance signs?
They're pretty evident.
I think it says smile. Does your mom know what you're doing?
Okay, we will be putting signs up, sounds like.
Well, it's just a thought to
Yeah.
let people know, so.
Yeah.
That way they don't do that because they know they're being watched.
Yep.
It's like in the 80s. Do you know who your kids are?
Yeah, it's 10.
I won't be able to attend next month's meeting, so if any of you need me for anything, let me know. And I know, it's weird, I'm here at all of
You've
them.
missed 2 the entire time I've been
One or
here.
2, yeah.
Wow.
I think I left early in one because anyways. So if you need me for anything, let me know ahead of time. And I'll try to get you the answers for the next meeting.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Counselor Kohler, what do you got for us tonight?
Just a couple of things. I'm really excited about the Gold Star Memorial and the progress that's being made on that. And I'm hearing a lot of ground support for it, and so I'm really excited about that. Excited about the cameras and that we were able to catch some people that were doing cookies in the parking lot at Kaiser Rapids. And the story I heard was, "Hi, who drives this car?"
Yeah.
And the kid went, I do, and mom thumped him, so it was good, we like that. And it looks like from talking with the mayor and other council members that you'll end up with a new liaison moving forward probably next month. And so I would just want to say I appreciate the support and the time that people give to this board and the willingness of people to give me a call and say, hey, can we do, and talk, and the communication. I just, I appreciate all the work that's done. I'm at awe at the parks crew that we have and the work that they do and how hard they work, and I hope that they know that we appreciate them. And there's always somebody that's not happy with something, and you take those complaints very, you take them serious, but yet you are humble about the way that you say, thank you for letting us know about something that really doesn't matter. So if I were in the South, what we'd do is we'd say, bless your heart, but we're not in the South. So again, thank you for your kindness and the way that you do things. So
We're just more aggressive per my last email. Councilor Kohler, I think it's one of the better held secrets. I think the impact you've had, even predating your council service in the park system, and your willingness to support and bring good projects forward. One of the inaugural projects that you did was in 2017-ish, whenever, when we removed all of Debbie's work at Kaiser Rapids Big Toy. And what I mean by that was the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of composite wood material that went in to make the original fall service. And bring in all the volunteers over a course of 6-hour day, and it saved the city thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, I would say. The volume of scouts that you've brought through before you became a counselor, the work that's been done on the trails, the most recent work done at Wallace House, and arguably, those are all cool things, and they're all impactful things, but I think that the thing that you did and that you brought forward to the Parks Board that is gonna resonate, I think, as a legacy to your contribution is youth grant, and stepping in and allowing this body to understand that, our young people need opportunities, but they also don't have the resources directly up front. And we've seen that grant be very impactful for young people. We've gotten a lot of really good bang for our buck. I know the gazebo right out the way here was done beautifully before somebody caught it on fire. We've had some other really good projects done. And unfortunately, it does turn out that for every good apple, there's a couple bad seeds that sort of distract from that. But you've been positive. Sometimes your jokes are very questionable, but that's okay. They're as dry ice at times.
wait a minute, you're saying that tonight after all the jokes you've told?
People expect it from me. I mean, that's fair, pot and kettle, right? No. I appreciate your sense of humor, your leadership here, and just thank you for being an advocate for this group of volunteers.
You're in good hands.
Yeah. So, all right. I lost my agenda. All right. Okay. Other business. March 15th, 9 a.m. Good Lord, I'm gonna get these right one of these days. 9 a.m. Kaiser Civic Center will be the annual Civic Center cleanup. It's gonna be fun. It's a lot of work. Many hands make light work. We do not turn anyone away. There is no such thing as somebody who is not skilled. We will find something for you to do, whether it's signing people in or taking pictures or what have you. Everybody is impactful. Bring groups, bring friends, bring neighbors, bring people you've never even met. I'm sorry?
Bring gloves.
Bring gloves. Bring your eyeballs. You might see somebody break into a house and have to call the cops. That happened last year. Hey, we're being creative and having a good time. The last thing I'll leave you with is, if you've been paying attention, we did a matching grant for this project, which is the Kaiser Gold Star Family Memorial Monument. And I'm going to pass a few of these down. If you guys, as Parks Board members, would be willing to pass them around, that would be great. If you're watching this in TV land, you can go to the Woody Williams Foundation online and find the Kaiser Project, or you can email kaiser.goldstar@gmail.com and get some specific information about that. If you got cash, you don't really know how to make it work, email them, call Counselor Kohler, we'll make it work. Any donation is impactful and will help make this project successful. So thank you for Tammy for your testimony today, and Tim and Andrew for being here and talking about the grant.
And sticking around.
I was trying to make it right at 7:30.
Yeah.
Lisa, congratulations. You all, congratulations on your new parks. And Adam, thanks for being here. Robert, we'll see you in April. We stand adjourned at 7:30.
Do we not have a meeting?